Hey guys, this is Matt for Creative. Alright, I just got back from seeing Avatar 2. It's pouring outside, I just had to dry off all the wetness. And going into this movie, after seeing Avatar again, just a few days ago, the original Avatar, I had zero expectations. After hearing a lot of what has been said from the director James Cameron, I was thinking, okay, just to break even, this movie has to be one of the top grossing movies of all time. All the expectations on it were too high for a movie where the original one, in my eyes, and I still think about this, where the original one falls really, really flat. And especially after a second viewing, you can see just how, for me at least, empty that first movie is. That first movie, a technological achievement, when was it, 2007 or 2009? It is a beautiful looking movie, the original one is. And watching it at home, no 3D, no anything, I had the, I guess the great chance to experience it again. And again, I was like, okay, that's it. I do not have high expectations. In fact, I was skewing a little bit negative going into this movie. So I did see this at Alamo, and I did not see it in 3D. I just did 2D because Alamo Drafthouse is one of my favorite movie theaters. This is not sponsored, just it's my truth. Sorry, that's just noise outside. But really, this movie is over 3 hours, and I did have to go take a bathroom break at one point, but this movie stuck to me. This movie made me feel for the characters in the movie. And, alright, let's just do a quick rundown of the first movie. We're going to not do spoilers for the second movie. I just want to say I'm a big fan of this movie, the look of the movie, and honestly, for me, the rewatchability of this movie, because I'm somebody who used to rewatch movies a lot. And recently, I've seen a lot of Marvel movies, because I'm a big fan of Marvel movies. I've always gone into those movies thinking, okay, I'm going to want to rewatch this. And after I think about it, no, I really don't. I know the story. It's going to be there. There's not much more that I can get on a second viewing. But for this movie, I will be seeing it again, and I think I'm going to try and see it in 3D. So that's my views and thoughts on this movie. If you haven't seen this movie, go to see this movie, because it is one of the most beautiful looking movies. If you have not been a fan of the way that movies have kind of looked a little bit kind of leaning into the fakeness of CGI with this kind of just like cloudiness, and like a lot of Marvel movies do this, where they have to change the story a lot, so they're changing the CGI with it, and sometimes it's not really up to par, where they don't look like bad movies at all, but you can just tell it is not at like the top like a triple A movie should be. This is a triple A movie that looks, by the way, I have what is this? This is like Apple TV, and it now has this kind of background of a, so random, of water. And it's just like seaweed and water and everything. It just reminded me how lifelike this movie is, and it does have a lot to do with water. Okay, let's go back to the first movie, where not a big fan of it. It just seemed very empty. A lot of people said that it borrowed a lot from previous movies, a little bit too much, and just for the people in the movie, I don't care about any of them. 0% caring about any of the people in the first movie at all, just thinking about that first movie. The main character, Jack Sully, Natiri, they are just vessels for the new technology of 3D and motion capture and everything, where it's just, I think we all know what happens in the first one. They're trying to mine materials out of the planet that they're trying to take over, and it's all about protecting like what is the true life of this planet for the native people, where humans are just trying to like mine it and just take over everything. and not take over, but kind of mine the hell out of the planet, where it just could be like a shell of its former self. And yeah, that's a story, and that works, but it's something that really, for me, it felt empty. The story could have been great, but it had no, like, it didn't feel that unique. This time, just to put it lightly, again, no spoilers yet, they tie this into family. They tie this into the people in the movie, that they have to make moves, they have to make decisions, they have to do a lot of things, but they tie it into the people of the movie. Sure, there's this overarching thing that there's going to be a bad presence, there's going to be a good side trying to figure out a way to live through the events of the movie, but they really tie it where you know these characters. Maybe, I have a terrible memory, maybe you forget their names, but you know that they are distinctive looking people, and Na'vi, the alien characters there, but they each look different, they act different, the personalities they show in their actions and their thoughts and what they do. I think it is an amazing, amazing use of this. And I think I know why the first one wasn't able to do that, because to get all the mocap possible, I think they honestly did everything that they possibly could to get the emotion out of a human actor and put it in this alien kind of facade face, this avatar, and they did the best they could in, what is it, 2009. Now they distinctly make everything look better, but I think one of the key things that they've been able to work on is the look and the emotion that you can show with these performances. You can show their true performance. You can show every kind of light beam that hits their face, every speck of water that hits on them. You can tell that they are true humans or true beings, and you can see their soul in the performance. And the first one, it was that kind of uncanny valley where maybe you could, maybe you couldn't. It looked beautiful, but it didn't hit with me. And the story did not hit with me. So it was a lot of things that didn't go together. And that movie, the first one, ended up being the top grossing movie of all time on a technicality, because they re-released it just to kind of surpass Endgame. Who knows what's going to happen in the future. But it is technological achievement. But this new movie, it really, it hits you. It tells a story that is very personal, again, on this grand scale. And can I say anything else not spoiler-ish? Because I'm not really going to go too much into spoilers anyway. I just kind of want to tell the story and why it makes sense. Okay, time has passed. Jake, Sully, and Neytiri, they're together, they have a family, and things are going pretty well. And now it is years later, because the last movie came out who knows how long. They have like teenager children, and they also have young children as well. Sigourney Weaver's character actually almost reincarnates as a Na'vi avatar, and they don't really explain why, because they don't themselves know why it happened. It just kind of is something that doesn't really, you don't find out the answer, but it's not like you feel like you're left hanging. It's just their first 3-hour movie. They do a lot with the time. They make you feel, they make you learn, they push the plot forward always. It doesn't feel like it drags along. It's not like an epic where you're just kind of like sitting and just like waiting for something to happen. There's always something happening, and it's not always action, but you're always learning something about these characters. And I think they do it really, really well, where, okay, they said that if this movie doesn't like break records and stuff, they're not going to be making all these sequels down the line. And literally 24 hours ago, I was thinking, I don't care. I literally don't care if they never make another Avatar movie again. I don't care that they're making this movie. I just have this Alamo Pass that I can see like movies every day of the month if I wanted to. And I was like, I want to see it because it's raining outside and it's gloomy. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to see a movie. And this is a good movie to see. But wow, I want this to continue and to go on, to see what the characters do, the main characters, the good characters, the bad characters, everything all together. Anyway, it's years down the line. Humans are back to finish what they started, but in this case, they're not trying to get the unobtainium, and they're not trying to mine, where now the story is kind of like, it kind of hits home with everything that's going on here. Earth is dying. They're trying to colonize and use the Na'vi planet as the new Earth. And that's basically what they're trying to do. There is a further subplot where one of the large sea creatures does excrete something from its brain that basically stops human aging. That also is something they're trying to harvest too for money. But basically the thing is, and I think what the next movies will be about, is that they're trying to protect this world, where Jake Sully is now adopted himself as a Na'vi person. He adopts that. He doesn't see himself as human anymore, because if you didn't know, at the end of the first movie, he has his entire like human body consciousness transferred over fully to his avatar body. So for this movie, you don't see the actor Sam Worthington at all. Like, it is just all the blue guy. And again, I literally just saw this movie, so I'm seeing all of this in my mind's eye, where you can see the emotion, you can see the wrinkles, the details in the face. It just looks so good. But they do a really good job at balancing the look of this movie and still telling a story, because it could just be a distraction of beautiful effects. But no, they do tell a story. Okay, so continuing on, humans are back. They run the core family of Jake, Neytiri, and their children away from their forest home to a water home, another kind of population of Na'vi that are different because they live by water. So their hands are going to be different. They're more like fins. Their tails are more like not propellers, but maybe also appendages that are like fins. And you can tell that they are a different subset of the Na'vi that we know. And I think it is like they look different. They're a little bit cooler in the blue tone that they are, but yeah, they run away to try to protect their forest village because they know that they are targets by the humans, and they go to this water area where everything is beautiful. It's a oh my god, it's a beauty to look at. Now, the reason why they are running particularly is the main bad guy, which I can't remember his name, but he's the old guy with the scar. He got killed, but they kind of retcon this in this movie, where he uploaded his consciousness before, and they were able to transfer that back to Earth, where they put his consciousness into the new body. And they upload his consciousness up to a particular point where, of course, this avatar does not remember his original self's death. So is it a full soul transfer? Is it just a clone, and this is somebody who kind of figures he's almost basically the same, so he's trying to carry out the same task? But basically what the bad guy's character... Oops, sorry. Basically what the bad guy's character says in a pre-record message before his death is, this is most likely Jake Sully's fault, that you are dead. If you died, of course he did die, so it's up to you, new avatar me, to go and kill Jake Sully, because most likely he did this. So that's the plan the entire time. They are pinpointing this. That's why Jake and Neytiri are moving on to a new place, and it gives the story a reason to change locations. We've seen the forest. It is a beautiful looking forest. They could have just stayed in the forest and updated the graphics and the way that light hits a human and an alien and everything together, but they, with a good intention to the plot, they move them to this new location where they can just add effects and effects and effects. And if you know anything about water CGI and the effects is extremely hard to do, and it is flawless. There's 2 moments in the entire movie that kind of take me out, but then I have to remember that it is not... It's a stylistic choice that they did to take me out of reality in all of this. So it's just a flawless looking movie. I do want to see this in 3D. Again, I don't want to spoil too much about this, but I do see that they now have a solid plan to move this plot purposefully into sequels. And maybe we'll stay with this water section here, because that's got to be as hard as hell to actually pull off. But maybe we'll go to other parts of the island, of the planet or the moon. I'm really curious to see now what they do. And now I hear that the 3rd movie, I think, is coming relatively soon. It's not going to be, 12, 13 years or whatever. So I am looking forward to this. It's a technological marvel, beautiful looking movie with an amazing story, because it does include the emotions, and it shows you the character and emotions of each character in the movie. They are not just like beautiful looking uncanny valley things. They are emotional beings where you can see the soul of the actor through this, in this mocap, in this avatar body form. I recommend this fully. I will be seeing this again. And guys, if you have any comments, questions, put everything in the comment section below. Again, I saw this at Alamo Drafthouse. Again, not sponsored. I would say do this. Normally I love Alamo, but I think this may be one of the ones where go see this in 3D. You will want to be fully immersed in this. So that's what I'm going to do next time. We'll see exactly how it goes. Again, everything in the comment section below. I'm on Instagram at m8b9. You can email me at matt8b9@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys. That's it. I will see you next time.